The trade war between the United States and China has escalated significantly. Both countries have imposed heavy tariffs on each other's goods. This escalation has sent shockwaves through the global economy. Recently, China announced a 125% tariff on a range of U.S. products. This move comes in response to the U.S. raising its tariffs on Chinese goods to 145%. China's Ministry of Finance stated that this would be their final retaliatory measure. They claim that the high tariffs make U.S. goods uncompetitive in the Chinese market. The U.S.-China trade war began in 2018. It started with the Trump administration imposing tariffs on Chinese goods. The stated goal was to protect American jobs and intellectual property. However, the tariffs have hurt businesses and consumers on both sides of the Pacific. This latest escalation marks a new low in U.S.-China relations. It is unclear how long this trade war will last. However, one thing is certain: there will be no winners in this trade war. The escalating trade war between the U.S. and China has sent ripples of uncertainty across global markets. Asian markets in particular have shown mixed reactions to China's recent tariff announcement. Japan's Nikkei index experienced a significant drop of nearly 3%. Similarly, South Korea's Kospi index fell by 0.5%. These declines reflect investor concerns about the impact of the trade war on export-oriented economies. In contrast, some Asian markets responded with cautious optimism. Taiwan's composite index saw a notable jump of almost 3%. Hong Kong's Hang Seng index also rose by 1.3%. These gains suggest that some investors may be betting on these markets benefiting from diverted trade flows. Meanwhile, mainland China's indices experienced slight increases, indicating a degree of resilience in the face of the trade tensions. The reactions in European and U.S. markets were more uniformly negative. Following China's announcement, both European markets and U.S. futures began to decline. This downward trend reflects growing anxieties about the potential for the trade war to escalate further and harm the global economy. As the trade war with the United States intensifies, China is actively seeking to strengthen its ties with other countries in the region. Recently, high-ranking officials from China, Japan, and South Korea convened to discuss the ramifications of U.S. tariffs. This meeting underscores the shared concerns among these Asian economies about the potential negative impact of the trade dispute on regional growth and stability. Furthermore, Chinese President Xi Jinping is scheduled to embark on a tour of Southeast Asia. His itinerary includes visits to Vietnam, Malaysia, and Cambodia. These visits are widely seen as an effort to bolster diplomatic and economic relationships in the region. China is likely to emphasize its commitment to free trade and multilateralism during these visits. These diplomatic overtures are part of China's broader strategy to counter the U.S.'s protectionist trade policies. By strengthening its relationships with other Asian nations, China aims to reduce its reliance on the U.S. market and create alternative trade routes. This approach is in line with China's long-term goal of becoming a more influential player in the global economy. The future of trade relations between the United States and China remains uncertain. The recent escalation of tariffs has heightened tensions between the two economic superpowers. Experts warn that the current trajectory of the trade war could have long-lasting and detrimental consequences for both countries and the global economy. Some analysts believe that the high tariffs imposed by both sides could effectively bring U.S.-China trade to a standstill. Victor Gao, an expert from the Center for China and Globalization, argues that the specific tariff percentages are becoming irrelevant. He suggests that the high levels will make it economically unviable for businesses to continue trading between the two countries. The trade war also has significant geopolitical implications. Gao warns that the U.S. risks making an enemy of China by engaging in these aggressive trade practices. The ongoing tensions could lead to a decoupling of the two largest economies in the world, with potentially destabilizing effects on the global order. The situation requires careful diplomacy and a willingness to compromise from both sides to avert further escalation and find a path toward a more constructive and mutually beneficial trading relationship.